April 2025 is here. It is time for everyone to head to Augusta National Golf Club for, I'm going to say it, the best major of the year.
Oh, easily.
It's Masters Week.
I would say it's the best sporting event in the world, apart from maybe the Ryder Cup. I was going to say the Ryder Cup is the one that maybe pegs it just slightly. But I think there's something magical about the Masters in terms of, for the UK at least, what time it's on. I think for us, it's such a great late night product. You get a lot of people who stay up late into the night from the Thursday. Here in the UK on Sky Sports, it's starting on Monday. They are starting their broadcast on Monday. So probably when you're watching this, it's already started. So it's a huge, huge event. And the runners and riders this year are absolutely delicious.
Yes, so the idea of this is we're just going to run through who Price and I think can win the Masters this year. So we've done so much research on this. We've been Googling everything for the last 24 hours to try and get a solid answer. And Tom, I've employed the help of a supercomputer.
Yeah, I love this fact that you're about to give us. And do you know what? I've got to be honest. I had 3 separate conversations yesterday with people about the Masters, and I deployed this fact with people, and I looked really impressive. So thank you for that.
So I think it was Golf Digest that have done this. They've got a supercomputer, and they've ran the Masters back something mad like 100,000 times. So they've had the computer take all the information and work out, okay, based on all these holes, again, who's going to win. The people that have come out top aren't particularly surprising, but I think the dominance of which they've come out is surprising.
Yes.
So, according to the supercomputer, it's either Rory or it's either Scotty Scheffler, but by something mad, like when you combine them, they've got a 50% chance of winning this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. So in the field of, what is it? It's a field of like 118 people, I think, or it's a smallish field in the Masters. So basically, everybody, those 2 people take up 50% of the odds, and then everybody else has to share 50% amongst them.
Yeah, which I don't think is taking into consideration the Rory mental factor. I don't know if the supercomputer knows how much he needs this, because I think that's going to play such a big role this time round. But pretty safe betting, and I know this isn't going to break anyone's mind right now, but pretty safe betting is Rory and Scheffler. If you could do each way odds on those 2, you're probably going to get your money back and some.
Well, obviously, I'd love to see either of them win it. I love Scotty. I love Rory. Rory's the one and a lot of people really want to see win for lots of reasons. But if we can park facts and computers for a moment and take a dip into emotions and hunches
Here we go.
And guts.
It's Fleetwood alarm. Sound the Fleetwood alarm.
Listen.
He's going to say Fleetwood.
I think Tommy Fleetwood, for me, is someone I'd like to see win it. I think he's had a good season so far. He's appearing on those leaderboards. Sure, he's not won ever on the PGA Tour, but I'm obsessed with him at the moment. I think I don't know why. This video is going to age really badly. People are going to be watching this in a few weeks' time, saying, "I can't believe you said Tommy Fleetwood. He didn't even make the cut." But he's hitting it really well, and he's a superstar. And I just want him to win.
So the reason Fleetwood will have advantages over the rest of the field is Augusta National favours the golfer who has played there multiple times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not good on the rookies. However, I can't remember the data guys that put this together, but this was such an interesting fact. That advantage only goes up to playing 9 times at Augusta National. Okay.
Wow.
So up to 9 times. Each time you come back, you've got a better chance of winning.
Yeah.
After 9, it doesn't diminish, but it doesn't get any better. So you want the golfer who's been there 7, 8, 9 times.
Yeah.
That's the person who, in that stat, is going to have the best chance of winning.
So often
Fleetwood is probably around there.
Well, I think he's like 34. So you want that golfer who is about that age. If it's 7 or 8 or 9 times that he's played it, presumably they often start playing when they're like 23, 24, if they're superstars, younger. But doesn't that make it even more amazing that Tiger Woods won like he did on his 2nd ever time?
Yeah, it's mad.
I mean, it's just ridiculous, isn't it? I think it could suit Tommy. I think, You could suggest there's issues around his temperament. Can he make it? Has he got the metal to do it? But that's an issue that you talk about certainly with Rory. You know, can he get this monkey off his back and get over the finishing line? You know, what sort of lead would you be comfortable with Rory having on the last day, and you'd still think he was going to win it? Even if he had a 4-shot lead on the last, a 4-shot lead, I'd still be thinking, oh, Rory.
Yeah. Now, unlike the other majors, previous form over the weeks leading
the season
up to the
so
event
far,
is really important.
Right.
Yeah. But that's a lot more prominent when you look at things like the Open, because for some reason, previous form over the weeks that led up to the event isn't as important for the Masters, because I think it gets in golfers' heads. It's such an important thing. It's probably most golfers' dream. Yeah. However, we do have to look at people who have won recently, and I think his temperament is great. He seems super chilled, and coming off the back of a win a few weeks ago, I do think there's worth Minwoo Lee.
You love Minwoo Lee. I mean, this is your Minwoo Lee.
I love Minwoo. Let him cook.
Yeah. He is great.
Let him cook.
He is great. He's still very young, isn't he? How old is he? He's like early 20s, isn't he?
Yeah, he'll be early 20s, yeah. And maybe like 27, maybe 26, something like that. I don't think he's that much younger than me.
The problem with Minwoo Lee, you've got to think of that moment when he won the kids thing in Texas. It makes it sound like a kids tournament. Children's Open in Texas. And there was a moment, of course, when he spooned it into the lake. And he was winning. He had a big margin.
Yes, good point.
The problem with the Masters, as we know from Rory, as we know from Greg Norman back in the day, from countless people, the Masters is this hushed, serious chess match of a golf tournament, and it is testing your mettle, and it drills into the middle of these golfers' brains. So you have to have superb golf. Of course, you have to have superb physical golf, but your psychological game has to be second to none. And that is where I think Minwoo Lee will fall down, and that is where I think that is the thing. Maybe you have to think about more than skills at the moment is who has got that zen. And you know who I'm looking at the moment, and I see zen. I look at Colin Morikawa.
Yeah.
I look at Morikawa.
Yeah. He's
that guy.
His name's been around.
Yeah.
His name's been said a lot.
Yeah, I think Justin Thomas looks really good at the moment. I think
I
think Justin Thomas has had a bad couple of years by his standards, but I think he's had some good rounds. He's been in the mix recently again, which is great to see. And I think he has got that proper metal inside the middle of his brain that can take on this huge psychological torment that the Masters is.
There's also a bit of the unknown factor with Bryson as well. I've seen Bryson's name knocked about. That supercomputer. Also, the next person after Scheffler and Rory was Bryson.
Right.
So I think that's really interesting because there's obviously the live factor. We don't know quite how well he plays with a proper PGA field. You don't know.
Yeah.
Tom, I'm going to push you on a top three. Who's going to be? Who's your top three for the Masters 2025?
Oh. Mate, I don't know. Okay, so do I have to put them in the actual order? Can I just say
no? This is just your three who you think people should bet on.
Yeah. Okay. In which case, it's going to be names we've already said. It's going to be Morikawa.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of someone from Live. Do you know what? Who I would really like to see? I would really like to see do well this Masters. And this goes against everything I've just said about having that mental strength. I'd love to see Tyrrell Hatton because he's such a good golfer. We all get distracted by the explosiveness of Hatton. He's an incredible golfer. So I'm going to say
not going to happen. Award
Morikawa, Hatton, and Rory.
Okay, this is how it's going to go. Forget all that. This is how it's going to go. This no surprise to anyone. Scotty Scheffler's going to win the Masters 2025, followed by Minwoo Lee and Rory and Bryson. That's my order. I know I'll give you a top four there, but that's how it's going to look. Safe betting, lads.
Absolutely not. Minwoo Lee's getting nowhere near it. Bryson hasn't got a chance. Cheers.